Hi everyone, it's Vickie Kello, your independent Stampin' Up demonstrator from Brisbane. Now, I come back to you today to do a version of what I did for last year. So I made these decorations up last year and hung around our house. These are joy decorations, so I'm going to do a bit of a version of that this year. Some of the products I've used on these have retired and some have carried over, so I will get started. So what we've got a backing piece. So when you buy the silver foil sheets or some cardstock, you get a backing piece of cardstock in there. That's a bit thicker. Now I keep these for everything. So that's just a backing piece, and that's, what have I done that size at? That is 4 inches. And then I've got a piece of the silver foil, and it's 4 inches wide, and it's just as long as it is, so 12 inches. And then I've got a piece of Seaside Spray, which is 3.5 inches, but I've just used the A4 size. So there is going to be a bit of a border there around that. Okay, and then the other items that I've used here are the layering squares. So I've used these ones. Now, when we get all our shapes together, so the largest piece is this foil one, and then I've got that square that goes on top, and then I've got another scalloped piece of the DSP. I'm still deciding what size I want, or what side of the paper I want. So the largest scallop is, from end to end, is the 3.25 inch. The largest square from the end of the die is 2 7/8. Then the next scallop is 2.5, and then the baby ones that I've used are 1.5 and 1.25. So they're the dies that I've used, and I've already cut all the pieces for that to get our pieces here. Now you'll also see to conserve paper, because this foil stuff can get a little bit pricey because you only get 2 sheets in a pack. So to conserve it, I've cut the layering pieces out of the middle. Because we're going to be covering them over, you're not even going to see them. So don't stress about it. Okay. Now I've cut 4 pieces of this only because you get 4 sheets out of 6x6. This is the Feels Like Frost DSP that carried over from last year. So I think I am going to go with that side. So we'll space them out evenly, and then these are the inside bits. And I've done the same with the inside bit of the Seaside Spray as well. And then these letters are from the Playful Alphabets dies that I've just cut out in the silver foil. Joy. So that's how it's going to go together. And then I've also just cut a whole heap of snowflakes from the, where did I put that die set? Here. From the Snowflake Wishes die set, because I'm also going to use this little image here just to stamp on the back of the Seaside Spray, just to give it something. So that little image is this one here. I'm going to stick that on a block which I had here, and we'll just move these out of the way. and randomly stamp on these with Seaside Spray. Now some of it's going to be covered over, so don't stress, but you just want to give it a bit of a background. Just gives it a bit more interest. So you just keep stamping, and you twist the stamp around as well so you get different images. Just keep going, nearly done. There we go. Just going to put that away, close this ink pad up so we don't get ink everywhere. And we're just going to layer these two pieces together. Now I've also got some of this Seaside Spray ribbon with, I think it's metallic ribbon, that carried over from last year as well. So what I'm going to do is sandwich that in between this layer. So this layer, you don't really need it, it just gives a bit more strength to what you want to do with it. Like if you want to hang it on a wall or something like that, it just gives a little bit more strength. So I'm just using some Seal Plus. What I want to do, and now I've got probably too much ribbon here, so let's just trim that down a little bit. I want to kind of cross it over like that so that it's gonna stick here nicely. So I want to make sure both bits of ribbon are stuck, but that it's got a nice loop there. And then just line up this. Now this is exactly the same size as this backing board piece. So just line it up. Now with this Seal Plus, once it's down, it doesn't move. So make sure you've only got one go at it. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with that. And because it is foil paper, I am just going to use the Seal Plus on this one as well. Just because the seal, like, it gets a little bit slippery sometimes with the foil. So I'm just continuing with the foil plus, the Seal Plus. Just have an even border. There. Okay. Now we can get decorating. So what we want to do is we want to make sure, just get these bits, we want to have an even border between everything. Now I don't measure, I just eyeball. But if you want, you can measure as well. So I think that's about right. There. Now if I can get my, for this bit you could use seal. I can't find my seal right now, so I'll continue using my Seal Plus. I've done a few videos this morning, so my desk is a bit of a mess. Okay. So just keep lining them up. Be as straight as possible. Alright, so we might turn that way. And then just get the Seaside Spray piece as well. I find this conserves a lot of paper by cutting the tinier squares from within the actual layering piece, and because we're covering it over, nobody knows. Nobody will have any idea about what's happening under there. And then just, I do think I'm going to go with the silver on there. When I was cutting it out, I'm like, oh, this is such pretty paper, but I think I like the silver. On there. Okay, and then what we need is the other bits here. Layering. So I think I'll pop these bits up with dimensionals, but we'll just stick this down with seal. So I'll just add these first, and then we'll pop them up with dimensionals. And then this could be a nice decor piece in your home. You could change the words up. You could do like merry or things like that. If you did merry, you'd have to make the bits a bit, the layering squares a bit smaller. But my dimensionals are here. You could add the kids' names to these if you've got a child that has a smaller name. The smaller the layering pieces go, the larger the name could be though. So okay, and then I'll just turn it back around this way. We're going to add these letters. Now I think I'm just going to add the letters. Oh, I've dropped the Y. Add the letters with a glue dot. So my glue dots are here. I'm going to take my pick tool. You can kind of roll a glue dot up so it gives you a bit of dimension, but it's not as bulky as stamping dimension. But these are a little bit more flexible then too. Okay. And then the O. Put that on, and then the Y we'll put on as well. Oh, that one's a bit sticky. I might need 3 glue dots for the Y. All the rest of them I've kind of got away with too, but I want to make sure they're really stuck down in there. So then stick that Y on there. And then now it's just a matter of decorating. So I've already pre-cut a lot of these things, and I didn't know how they'd go. So I've done a whole heap in silver and the Seaside spray because I wanted to layer them up different colours, and I didn't know how big I could get. So I don't know whether I'll use these big pieces or more these little ones. Just wanted to be prepared for the video. So I think these big ones might be a bit too big. Might just be using these littler ones. And if we poke out the inserts, of these, this is where you take your pick tool, is really good. Comes in handy a lot to get these little bits out quickly. Alright, nearly done. Oh, one last one there. And that silver one's got one bit in it. Okay, so in my head, I was going to layer these. So I didn't know whether to layer silver. No. I think I'm going to layer the same colour and just make it a bit thicker. Snowflake. Like you do with the flower, just kind of off-center it a bit. So layer them, and then these smaller ones, some of them don't even have to be layered. Kind of just spread them out a bit. Alright, we'll move those away and we'll get sticking down. So let's pop that there. Just off center that, and I find glue dots are strong enough to hold these. If you've got rough kids or they're going to be knocking these about on your walls, then you might want maybe to decorate it with the poinsettia flowers or something like that, that aren't quite so flimsy as the snowflakes, because these are quite delicate. That if you're walking past it, you might end up curling all the tails of the snowflakes. Alright, oh, can't even get this one off. That glue dot's really stuck there. And then I just want to finish that off. Now I've got these gems. I don't know whether these will go or not. I think they will. These gems, they come in two different colours, the darker one or the lighter one. I'm going to use the lighter ones. Just in the centre of the snowflakes. Just to give it a bit more bling. even the silver ones. So, nearly finished. Now, if you missed those measurements, these will be all on my blog. I'll have the blog up later as well. But that's the with all the products that I've used as well. So pop over to my blog and check that out. And I hope you enjoyed today's project.